to go live, or we're live already. So I'm gonna wait for a couple of people to tune in here. You gotta like, you gotta share, you gotta invite a friend. It is open mic tonight, guys. So if you know anybody that would like to call into the show and have any questions or participate, anybody's welcome to call in. The only restriction is that I have do not mention names of other people's platforms, por favor. But and respect. Respect is another key, guys. So anybody is welcome to participate right now. Like I said, you gotta invite, you gotta share, and you gotta invite a friend. So yesterday we had a topic, and this morning, about morals and principles and showing moral support to everything that's been going on. And people want to know, at one point, is this going to end? When are we going to say enough is enough? We're going to change the script. We're going to move forward. I know a lot of platforms have participated, and it seems like they go back to square one, which is originally all this started because of Vanessa. And everybody knows that Vanessa was a prime target. She was placed in the center, and everybody was like going after her or criticizing or giving the point of view on yes, no, Vanessa this, Vanessa that, right? So my question is, and I'm opening up the mics, it's like, who's at fault? And is it her fault for not standing up? Is it other people's fault for going after her? Is she a victim? What do you guys see out of all this scenario going on? Everybody could say their voice, their own opinion. I know that Margie called in this morning and she disagreed with my opinion on regarding to Frank's role in all this, and I had my personal opinion regarding to it. Hey, baby girl. Hey, Rubio, ¿cómo estás? Hello, hello, hello. So I'm allowing people to call in. Anybody could call in, like I said, and voice their concerns and their opinion. Vanessa, Alma says she's a victim. To a certain extent, I might agree she is a victim, but at one point, can she stand up for herself? At one point, is this gonna end and she's gonna say, you know what, I am done with it. I want to be me. I want to stand up, and I'm gonna fight for what's right. Hola, gracias, Juan. Thank you to everybody. So everybody might have their opinion that she's a victim, or she's caused it, or she's allowed it to happen. I agree with you. They claim they don't hate, but what things that she okay, look, and you know what? A lot has to do with certain people that are trying to intimidate her. For example, Wanganet, and clearly she has a personal vendetta against her. I understand you might dislike her as a candidate. You might not agree with what she's doing out there, but you're taking it to a personal level when you're saying, oh, I'm going to spit her in her face. You want her to choke on a nut. Stupidity's out there. It's like, what has she done that's going to justify what you're saying? That's what people don't understand. And Juanito Allen is another one that I sit back and say, okay, what justifications do you have to go after her so bad? Like, to in other words, I don't even like to use this word, but to hate her. And still there's no justification to that. I know that she's not innocent of anything, to be real, guys. I know that she's done things in the past as well, like I have done things as myself too. I think other people need to stop talking and stop playing victims. I agree with you, Jaime. She's on a they both have evidence they can't take to authorities, but they do. Do you think that it's and to be honest, I had a silent viewer who called me earlier today, and she told me that if she were to go forward and press charges, would all this end? Can someone furthermore sees that here make fun of the lady? Are their family perfect? It's not. And I'm allowing people to come in here with anybody. No, nobody's gonna get blocked, guys. You could be sincere right now. All I'm asking you is to respect one another, their comments and their own opinion. Of course, the number to call in, if anybody is willing to call in, and you could remain anonymous. You could even call private if you want. The number to call in is 956-378-3073. 956-378-3073. You could call in private and we could have an open discussion. And if you don't agree with what I'm saying, that's perfectly fine. I'm not gonna ask anybody to block you. You're not my enemy. You're not gonna fight. We're nothing like that. So I mean, you're more than welcome to call in. Honestly, mira, I reached out to Frank regarding to the video that was circulating about BT's son, and he told me straight out that he was just deleting old videos, trying to start off fresh, and basically I took his word, guys. I mean, there's no such thing as maybe he's not doing it in a malicious way or in an act to hurt anybody. But he did tell me straight out that that he was deleting stuff, deleting videos, and that's it. If you're at the park, I truly hope they don't call the laws on you. Uh, no, no, I'm at Walmart. I'm at Walmart, guys, in McAllen. So, like I said, guys, everybody has their own point of view, and I respect everybody's opinion. But there's a point where, like, you cross the line, and you're hindering a person. You're not only causing her, trauma in her life, but you no que no ni out means no que no means out means her living to cribs and this and that, unless you are perfect like some people are the ones probably leaving their houses on ramp back and forth. He's deleting videos because he doesn't want to get arrested, and that's and Anna, maybe I mean that's your point of view, and I respect it. Anna's saying he's probably deleting videos because he doesn't want to get arrested. I took his word that he deleted videos because he's moving on from what everything's been going on. Sometimes we got to give the benefit of the doubt to people. I'm not trying to go after him. I'm not trying to embarrass him. It's or anything like that. If he wants to delete his videos because he's doing a transition, it's great. It's respectable. So it was a choice, and that they had a choice to fight back and not take in at the time. So, like I said earlier today, I did get a call from an individual who mentioned to me that she feels that Vanessa's allowing this to happen because it's the way she plays the role as a victim, and I respect it. It's never gonna change. So let me call my first caller. I don't know if she's available. I will call. And she's very good at discussions. I don't know if she's back from out of town, which is Miss Painter. And let us see what she has to say regarding to all this. Ahorita le vamos a hablar. A ver si me contesta. Hola, Miss Painter, perdida.
Ya, llegué para atrás.
Ay, you need me to go change your diaper or no?
No, no, no.
¿No estás cagada?
No, me llegué y me bañé.
Ay. Bueno, guys, we have Miss Painter back from vacation. Llegó de Cancun. Andaba en little chunky lipsticks. No. On a serious note, we're having a discussion today, Miss Painter, and it's open mic. I want to hear your side, or I want to hear you out on what you think of all these things going on with, again, people going back to Vanessa and going to this circle again. It's like a non-ending story. Like you jump from one person to another. In your point of view, what do you see about all this stuff?
Bueno, mira.
Without mentioning names,
night,
you know what I mean?
I'm not going to mention names.
Monday.
Pero last night, I was watching this platform where there was two women kind of analyzing Vanessa's videos. I don't know how old the videos are, or they're recent, or what, but it was very much. They basically, I could say, bullying her because Vanessa was allowed to say 2-3 words out of the video that would stop it, and they would attack her like two vicious dogs. They would just attack her, then they would put the audio again. Vanessa would say 2 or 3 other words, and they would give I mean, we really don't know what the content of Vanessa's audio video was, but they were using 2-3 words to attack her. I thought that was very little of them, because first of all, they were not talking to her face to face. They were not. They were not even allowing her to. Let's see the rest of the video. It's like cutting bits and pieces, whatever les convenía.
Right.
And I thought, what a bunch of cheap women. Just and then, I mean, basically they were like dogs attacking because hasta brincaban y ladraban.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't watch all of it because I thought it was stupid. But I'm going to tell you that um, when they told certain people, don't talk about this person, don't talk about that person, they didn't they didn't put a list of people that you could talk about or couldn't talk about. So what do? They go back to Vanessa because Vanessa has been mentioning in so many words the lady down the street, the mean lady down the street. So they want to use that because they can't talk about you, they can't talk about what's going on, so they need some content.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no doubt in my mind that Vanessa, if they were to call her directly, or pero se las lleva entre las patas, Vanessa.
I think that she needs to. Mira, I think what she needs to do, Vanessa, is to sit back, regroup herself, and focus on this and all this that's been going on, and maybe like that she would be able to put an end to it. You know what I mean?
I think Vanessa has been regrouping and sitting back and thinking for a while. She's been dealing with her own issues, legal issues. That I'm not going to blame on anybody else but herself because the law just goes on what you do to yourselves. Yes, people talked about it porque lo puso live,
Mm-hmm.
and anything that's out there, we got to see, we got our judgment. Everybody had their opinions and what have you. But I don't believe anybody created that. I think it started back when Frank started watching. I mean, putting out the videos for everybody to watch. But when that happened, everybody was interested.
Even,
You
and
know,
I'm not going to deny it. And you hit you hit what I wanted to hear. I participated. I talked shit. I did a
yes,
lot of crazy shit. She came over to my house, me cagó el palo. She taunted me and all this other stuff, but we were able to let go of that. We transitioned into something else, and it seems like people, cuando no hay más, they go back running to her, and it's like, why?
well, I don't believe that Vanessa is able to totally let go of all of that. That she went through so much that she put herself through. I am not giving her any slack here. She put herself through all of this stuff, and everybody had their share of their opinions and attacking her and videoing and everything. And, um, she created a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that Vanessa can't trust anybody.
Maybe,
She,
and I understand where you're coming from. She created all this because she put her personal life out there, correct? But at the same time, people need to understand that nobody's perfect. I mean, if I would have never come forward with any of y'all and told you that I lived my life as a drug addict and that que era ratero y era de lo peor, well, nobody would have really found
uh,
out.
I don't think that anybody is. I mean, the judgment on Vanessa on that has already happened. Everybody knows what her life was like. Uh, Everybody can see that it's better now. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'm not saying she's not doing drugs. I don't know what she does on her personal time, but just in seeing her health and seeing her get up every day and go and work, and the way she is está más al alba con lo que está pasando y todo, she's better.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if she's over it, I don't know, because like I've said, drug addiction is something that is a lifelong problem. It's not over.
And you're right about that. And I have a personal battle with it every day. I wake up and I'm proud that I have been sober, but It's difficult when you think about it. Sometimes you think about trying when you have a problem. Because when I went through my addiction, every time I had a problem and I didn't know how to handle it, it was like, okay, let me run to the drug. Let me find an outlet to feel better. At the end of the day, the problem was still there. But even like that, when I talk, have deep conversations with my closest friends, right? I don't really like to go into deep detail or even think about the drug, because I do get that sensation of that watery mouth. Like I feel the drop. You know what I mean? So I rather just not go into details of how it is. Like, oh, me gustaba, and I would do this and do that, because it's not good for me. I could talk about my addiction. I could talk what I did and all these other stuff around it. But when I talk about, and me imagino doing the hit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But let me tell you that even though you can have empathy and you can probably have that, like even myself saying, "Oh, I feel for her. She went through all this stuff, but I still would not be able to call her and say, is there something I can do to help you? Porque you never know what the response is going to be." And she could tell me, go after yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You were not helping me when back in the time when I was in deep shit. Well, there was no way anybody can help you. I mean,
Right, and you're right about that, because mira, when I was lost in my addiction, when I was lost with en todo lo que andaba, um, a lot of the doors had closed out on my personal life. My brothers had closed the door. That never meant that they stopped loving me, but they were tired of my shit. It's like otra vez en las pinches mamás, otra vez robando, otra vez en la droga, otra vez vienes hasta el culo. People got tired of it at home, and the thing is that I don't blame anybody else but myself. And finally, it took time, more than a year, for my family to be able to trust me. They would hide their purses, they would hide their belongings, they would hide the jewelry, they would lock the doors, because how bad I was. And I felt to a certain point that they didn't love me, but it was just me that was thinking like that. They were just, taking care of their belongings.
mhm. And you know, um, I'm sure that Vanessa's very capable of going. And I'm not heard. Do you know that I am still, I still am one of her followers on Facebook. She never blocked me, and I can still see her videos. I don't comment negative stuff. I don't attack her. I don't do any of that. And to her, if nobody does that, she'll leave you on. She'll
Mm-hmm.
only block you if you're gonna go and cagarle el palo. And
Right.
so I hear her sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm able to tell you that I think she's better. And but even like that, I don't think that she really needs anybody to help her. Vanessa es muy inteligente. She is, if she wanted to, but she could go to the police department. But Jaime, se quemó. And that police department there in Raymondville, we all know they're going to ignore her. And we all know that um, they did this to you guys because the heat was on. What a coincidence. Just as you were going to walk in to talk to the commission about this, is when their timing was perfect to pick you up. We all know how that is.
Mm-hmm.
Is Vanessa willing to, is she afraid that they're going to do that to her? It's very possible. It's not something for the last 2 3 years she's been putting up with this heat. Ya eso ya le vale. She's lost her daughter. She's just working and getting up in the morning and keeping going on forward. That's what my opinion is. But I don't think that because these two bullies over there are bullying her, that anybody can help that. Esas pinches viejas culos hediondos That's the only thing they can do. Because I tell you what, like I said it once and I'll say it again. And creían que las había invitado a la round table a tragar. No, no es a eso. Pónganse enfrente de alguien y que se pongan al tú en tú con una persona, no lo hacen.
Mm-hmm.
No lo hacen. ¿Por qué? Porque están más cagadas que las personas de quien están hablando.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Y no se
Right.
quieren mover porque les va a oler.
Right. Pero let's just tone it down a little bit because it's getting, you know what I mean, on that aspect. But
Hey, I'm not saying names,
okay.
but I'm telling you that it's all about bullying Vanessa, and it's not us.
Mm-hmm.
And we can all have our opinions, que Vanessa se lo merece, whatever. Uh,
You know, because I'm gonna tell you straight out. Yes, cagó palo. Yes, she did what she did. Yes, she put herself in a situation where people are gonna criticize you. Pero hasta cuándo? Like, when are they gonna say, you know what? Está bueno, ya es an old story. Let it go, move on, criticize, go back to, you know, I mean, they're still saying and they're still criticizing me that I have AIDS. Y mamá y media. A mí no me duele, a mí no me cala, right? But why don't they go back and maybe we do something different in their programs and different platforms?
they're not, because they, you know, they, como te diré, there's people that will talk about other people to take the light off of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can bring up somebody else, maybe they're not going to be seen doing what, but they look horrible. And I don't know how one can say that she's educated when she was saying all sorts of bully, 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 bully. Now, my question to the city commission of Raymondville is this. Do y'all think that because you did this and you stopped one person from talking about another person, do you really think que el perro con rabia no va a pescar otra persona? You know, un perro que muerde, lo vas a quitar de que no muerde una persona, pero se va a arrancar a morder la otra. So, you know, it's I don't know. They couldn't stop it then, and they haven't been able to stop it.
I mean, they're working on it. It seems like Raymondville PD is moving in the right direction because they made a statement out there by having me arrested, right? And let's talk about me, only me. By having me arrested, they made a statement out there, and now it seems like they open up the doors and they want to give everybody the opportunity to walk in, and now people need to realize give Raymondville PD the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they will get on it and they're moving in the right direction. The chief, you know, I spoke in open forum once and I spoke about the modification of the law. And he took place this time and he implied the law and it's great, but it took months before he implied it. I'm not saying that he did wrong or anything, but now let's continue moving forward with it and not pinpoint who gets arrested or anything like that. Just give everybody the opportunity to go in and hear them out. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that the commission, the chief, or anybody's corrupted. I'm just saying that, you know, I feel that, you know, they held me accountable, and I'm going to step it up to the plate and say, okay, I'll take responsibility for my actions, right? And but at least I know that with my arrest, it brought peace to the Marroquin family, and it brought peace to a lot of people's lives. And it's not. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying I'm going to praise it or anything like that. But sometimes people, I see it as I gave up my freedom to help others out, and Dios sabrá qué va a pasar moving forward.
Well, my question is, are they going to wait till another thing happens as bad as what happened? When Vanessa gets to the edge, like that other lady got to the edge? Or is the city waiting for a second thing to happen to be able to say, it didn't work, and we need to put a stop to it. To put a stop to it, you know, and that's usually when it happens. Something bad happened, and so they had to move.
Hmm.
Now they're pushing another person to that edge. Do we wait till that person gets to the edge?
And I can't do anything. Like, I could voice my opinion. My hands are
No,
tied right
you
now,
can't.
and I could only do so much to allow people to call in my show and voice their opinion and voice their concern because of where I stand right now. If I wasn't in this situation, you know that I would be out there fighting. You know that I would be out there advocating. You know that I would be the first one knocking on doors,
You
and because that's something that I love to do in my other platform. But because of where I'm at right now, I can't do anything. I did, I try my best to encourage everyone, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's all you can do. It's up to her. If it bothers her, if it's bad, we can all sit back and say, "Well, it looks pretty bad." But if it doesn't, she doesn't step up and say, "Hey,
Hmm.
now what? You guys are gonna
But
wait
you know what?
until I."
We cannot blame Raymondville PD because, mira, apparently, from what I understood, she had old reports that were done,
Mhm.
and she's afraid to go in because she's afraid of getting arrested. But I don't think they're gonna do anything like that because when I saw this, the investigators and stuff, they were very nice people. I have nothing to complain about the PD itself. I have nothing to complain about the investigators because se portaron muy bien, even the judge. So I feel it was a way to be able to bring peace into the community itself, and they're willing to work with the community, but the person has to go in there and knock on that door. They're not going to go to you. You have to go. And
Well, the thing is that the PD was not didn't make that decision. The judge didn't make that decision. The it was commission. The commission, the city manager, the mayor, whoever, those people are the ones that said, "Hey guys, you, you do something." They had to push somebody because the police department's been hearing this for years, and they only do what they're told. They
right,
needed a
but you
warrant.
see, in every city it works differently because here in the city of Mercedes, they have it as in like you could talk about someone, you could tag some, you cannot call, text, or message anybody on Facebook, but you could talk about someone on social media. Here in Mercedes, I know it all depends on the city where you live. It all depends on the judge too, and it all depends on the chief of police. Again, I'm not here to discredit the chief of police of Raymondville. I mean, if he felt he did the right thing, well then that's great. But at the end of the day, from what I believe, from what I see, they opened up the doors for people to go in and do what they have to do. And I'll say it again: these investigators se portaron muy bien, and they were very respectful, and they treated me well. The PD también. So I have nothing to say or accuse them of being corrupted.
As far as I know, and in the times that I've heard Vanessa, or I mean, I've never heard anybody say that she said, "I need somebody to help me," and if she or accept that help, porque really, what can you do? The only person that can go and do something about it and sign that paper is her, and she's very capable of doing it. You can't do it for her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, I hear that. Um, you mentioned that Frank and Manny or somebody needs to help. What can they do? They can't do anything.
I think maybe moral support, as in like reaching out, trying to talk to her. I know that maybe she won't respond back to them, but any type of support because it's very hard when you've gone through so much in life and you're still in a situation where like people are still belittling you with some of the stuff that you put out there using your shit. And maybe now that I sit back
Do you
and
think you would trust them?
and you know what? Now that I sit back, Frank and I, we did talk, and he told me he was deleting some of the stuff or the videos. Maybe he's deleting them so people won't use them as content to go after her. I mean, we could see it in that way. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what he's doing, but I honestly, I don't see how she could trust either one of them, even if they called and said, "Hey, I'm behind you." Vanessa doesn't trust anybody. She doesn't even trust her own shadow because she's gone through so much, and there's nothing that those guys can do but stop attacking. And I haven't heard that they have. I don't know. I never watched Mandy, but they can stop their stuff
Mm-hmm.
and let her do whatever she needs to do in her daily basis. But I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe the reason that the other platform is attacking her is because she keeps talking about the lady down the street and the vieja mendiga or whatever. And so, as long as you do that, we do it. Si alguien va a hablar de nosotros, vamos, you better believe it.
Apparently, Mira, people are commenting here that Frank played a video of one of Vanessa's son about drugs, something like that, and
Uh,
Frank only showed it when he posted himself. But then apparently Frank put it in private, but played it. I don't know, something between the lines. People were messaging me. People were upset. I did.
Well, since he made a mistake and that it went out there without him knowing, uh, we can disagree in that. We can say, "Come on, Frank, of all people, he knows what he's doing." But we have to give him the benefit of the doubt. Que eso es lo que pasó.
Mm-hmm,
Pero si it happened, it went out there. People said, "Ves, ves,
mm-hmm,
you're saying you're not involved in this, but yet sigues picando."
mm-hmm.
So we don't know. That's what he says. We're going to take the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
But as far as your platform, I know that you're probably divided and half and half as to supporting Vanessa or not supporting Vanessa. Vanessa, I don't think needs support.
Okay.
I think Vanessa can.
And you know what? And I accept your criticism. You probably are right, and you probably are right that I need to step back and allow her to fight her own battles. But at the same time, I have a heart y me da compasión. You know what I mean?
Well, see, pero let me tell you something. This is, to me, my opinion of the group that we watch, the people that are your followers or we watch. If we happen to see that something is very unjust, we're going to speak up.
Mm-hmm.
If we happen to see that de a tiro, andan piquile, stalking her and stuff, pero esas gentes no tienen los huevos para eso.
Mm-hmm.
Nomás están because una tiene que lamberle a la otra.
Right.
It's just there. So your platform is not doing that. We all have our opinions. Yes, Vanessa created a lot of it. Because, mira, yo para comenzar, I didn't care. My deal with Vanessa back in those days was the children, and that was my concern. It was, I could care less if Vanessa tomaba o hacía drogas todos los días. Just make sure those children are taken care of and make sure they're not in the middle of it. Era mi concern. When she put it out there that those kids couldn't be with her because the mess that was in, and that was what I cared about. The rest, her life, her losing her nursing license, we all know how to take care of her license. If we lose it, it's por también lo mismo. And I've seen a lot of nurses lose their license for the same things. But, those are things que tú sabes that if the stove is hot, don't touch it.
Mm-hmm.
So those are adult things that she makes on her own, decisions she makes on her own. But at this point, we've seen her burn herself so many times, and we know that there's nobody she can harm right now but herself.
Right.
The children are not there to be harmed. The public's not there to be harmed by her being senator or whatever. So, patients, they all have rights. They know how to make a complaint. So really, she's not hurting anybody but herself. So, que se defienda if she thinks she needs it, because Yeah, they're just bullying her
Hmm.
like people get bullied.
Well, thank you, Miss Painter, for allowing us to be here with us and giving us your opinion. We did have somebody else to call in. I don't know who
Okay.
it was, but gracias, Miss Painter. Appreciate
Okay.
it. Bye bye.
Bye.
Gracias, bye bye. So somebody else called in, guys. I was on the line. I could not answer the other phone call. I'm gonna call it back right now. Hello. You want me to put you live? Huh? Okay, let me put you live. But I'm gonna ask you one favor. Do not mention names. Yes. Okay, great. So we are live right now. So I wanted to know your honest opinion about everything going on.
Everything that's going on. Um, I've said it once, I say it again. A lot of things went too far. But at the same time, a certain someone needs to take responsibility for their actions.
Hmm.
Nothing's going to stop unless they take respect. Everybody need to take responsibilities for their actions.
Right.
Um, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you believe that a certain someone was standing outside another certain person's house?
I have no comments regarding to that. I could answer any other questions, but that one.
Um, let me see. I'm trying to think of how I could say this. If the
Anything
do
dealing with other people, I want to stay away from that. I rather just talk about, if you want to ask me questions, you believe drama was going to end or anything like that. I'm really more than willing
I
to.
thought this was open mic
It is
because
to us.
right now, a certain person has me on their page when I made a simple opinion and her little followers started attacking me, and they've been attacking me for about 6 hours.
Okay,
I gave it right back to them.
answer. Okay, let's figure. You asked me a question about certain people standing outside people's houses, correct?
Yes.
Uh,
Do you believe that one particular person was doing it?
in my
I,
opinion, to be honest, it's whatever people wanna say out there regarding to that. It's hard. It's hard to believe if people were outside or not because I wasn't there. I can't say yes or no.
but if I recall correctly, someone said they was going to show you the proof that they had proof that a particular person was.
Hmm. Somebody,
See, that's kind of what I'm trying to actually see.
hold on, hold on.
Actually, what you
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening.
okay? I'm trying to see exactly like what do you believe because then I feel why do you allow that person on your platform knowing they lying?
I remember what you said last time, right? And the thing is that since and I think we had a discussion about this last time you had
And see, that's what some of your followers don't realize that me and you, do communicate. We do support each other. You know, I support you in
correct.
just about everything you do, just like you support me. And thank you again for praying for my grandson and all that stuff. I really appreciate it. I know I told you that, but you know, it's the I'm trying to stick to your subject, but I had some questions I specifically
Right,
want
right,
to
right. And
make
no, I'm not,
sure.
and I know where you're coming from. On to be honest,
Because to me it seemed like a lot of people sugarcoating stuff because at the same time people saying to stop bullying her, she do the same thing. She do the exact same thing.
that's what I'm saying. To
She
me,
she she
to
posts people jobs. She posts people pictures. She got my pictures all up right now talking about I'm a hater. If you go back and read my very first comment, because somebody said that I never say anything nice. I specifically said at the end of my comment that if she got her shit together, she very well can do some good for the RGV or anywhere down there and stuff. If she got her shit together, you have to be transparent to everybody. You can't keep trying to deny, oh, that wasn't me on video when everybody can see it's you on video. You can't keep saying the police planted drugs when everybody know, you admitted that it was on you. You have to be transparent for people to trust you, to believe you. That's one of my main points, and that's what I'm always gonna keep saying
So
stuff.
so Vanessa is texting me right now, and she says she is going to respond to
Just
you.
ask her to unblock me so I can respond on her
Right, right, right,
page.
right, right, right. So I'm gonna ask her. I'm gonna ask her to unblock you. She just texted me to this number, and so I'm gonna ask her, Vanessa. She wants to have a civil conversation with you, and take it from there. There's nothing wrong.
I will. I surely will. If I could show you, go back. I have screenshots where I offered her to come to Houston to get away from a particular person that kept beating her. She didn't want it. She wanted my money. That's where I start looking at things a little different, start paying attention to little things. I have no problems having a civil conversation because again, like I said, if she got her shit together, she really could do some good. She have the voice and she have the confidence to say things that need to be said, but at the same time, you need to take responsibility of your action. You need to take responsibility of what you're doing and what you do to people. So yes, please ask her to unblock me. You can give her my phone number.
Okay, I will give her your personal cell phone number right now, and I will text it to her, and you guys could have a civil conversation and discuss it. I mean, there's nothing wrong having a discussion, and that's it.
Yes.
But I understand where you're coming from. I mean, I respect your opinion regarding to what you believe in her, and it comes. Everybody has their own opinion. I have my own
Yeah.
opinion as well. I'm not gonna block you. I'm not gonna get upset. I'm not gonna do anything like that. It's your opinion, and it's respected for my point of view. But again, we don't know what happens behind closed doors in her personal life. We only see what people want to put out there or what she puts out there, and that's where it's like maybe.
That's what she's being judged at for what she's putting out there. You know, at her age, certain things don't need to be put out there when you're trying to be respectful in a community. A lot of things do not. It's nobody's business. It's nobody's business. But when she put it out there, of course, people are gonna have positive and negative things to say.
Mm-hmm.
And you take it or either you don't. And stuff, but you can't go around calling people a hater, making up lies, or saying this just because you don't like somebody's opinion.
Right,
Now
right.
that's why I say I do respect you because no matter what, hey, we still got respect for each other. Even I said this beforehand, and I still sent money to help
Right. And I
because
mean,
I
at
have
the end of the
respect. For,
day,
I,
at the
you
end
know,
of the
I,
day, I accept criticism. There's
yeah.
nothing wrong. I
And
mean,
that's what I love. That's what I love about you.
I'm not
You
gonna
never
hang
know.
up on you. I'm not gonna tell you off. I'm not gonna do anything like that. I'm not gonna block you. But I accept criticism. If you don't like what you see on my platform and you want to call me and we could discuss it, like I did this morning with Margaret, I think it's Margaret, Margie, whatever her name is. We had a discussion. That was it. There was nothing wrong.
Yeah, that's why I love you.
Thank you, and I appreciate
Well,
for
I
calling
don't
in.
love you like that, but you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yes, yes, I appreciate it.
Because hey, it's an open forum. If you're gonna put it all out there, put it all out
And
there.
it
You
is
gotta
and
take the
it
good
is
with
an
the
open
bad.
forum. I said open mic so people could
Yeah,
call in and voice their concern and their opinion and whatever they believe is right or wrong. At the end of the day, it is respecting the caller and respecting what people believe is right. Uh, and so I want to thank you for calling in. I appreciate it.
okay,
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
all right, bye.
So let me call her back. Hey, Vanessa. I have you live here, but like, just calm down and be civil. Okay? Okay, great. So, guys, we have Vanessa Tijerina who called into the show and she has certain things she wants to respond. I am going to ask you not to mention names from any other platform, please. But
Okay.
go for it. It's all yours.
First of all, that woman never offered me a place to stay, and I never, ever, ever asked her to send me money. I'm calling in because
She's been out there, and I have kept my mouth shut while she's out there misleading people. I've 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 not bothered with her until now. So let's get one thing straight. I'm a grown ass woman, and if I'm not hurting anybody else, I do what I want to do in the way that I want to do it. If I want to go to the university, I'll go to the university. If I want to be unemployed, I'm going to be unemployed. If I want to work my ass off every day, I'm going to work my ass off every day. If I want to call out my haters, I'm going to call out my haters. If I'm going to let some woman talk and mislead people for as long as I can take it, then that's what's going to happen. But when I push back, man, I'm not going to take that post down. I'm not going to take that video down. I'm pushing back against your hate. It's not the same. It's not the same. So when you're up in somebody's inbox and you've been part of a group of known haters, and I've had enough of you, I'm going to address it. I don't address everything that everybody does. But the thing is that in the last few days, they've gotten more vicious and more vicious and more vicious because all their attempts are leading to nothing. And no matter what they do, I keep growing up and I keep surviving, and they don't like my survival. But it's not their life. It's none of their business how I survive. And if Facebook is not saying that I violated a community standard, well, then the problem isn't me and the problem isn't Facebook. The problem is the person that caused me to even clarify anything that they were saying.
Correct.
This woman is literally out there trying to convince people that it was a male that was on the phone giving the orders to torture me, when literally the female that was doing the torturing was just sentenced. She's still trying to be out there misleading people. And even right now, are you kidding me? She's just like the other male haters. About 4 out of 5 of my biggest haters say, well, she would do really, really good in this life if she only did things the way we want her to do them. Man, if I listened to every hater that gave me advice on how I should live my life, I'd be just like them, unrecognized, never meeting any kind of pinnacle of success, never being known for anything at all in my life other than hating Vanessa Tierina. So why am I going to take the advice of these people that have never even reached any sort of success in their own
I
lives?
do have a question for you, Vanessa. Are you open to criticism, or is that something you take very personal? Because I've seen criticism come from a lot of people. Sometimes it's negative, and it seems like if it triggers you, if you're if, and you've ran for different races before, and I think by now you should understand that criticism is part of the game.
Not personal criticism, because personal criticism has nothing to do with my function for whatever seat that I'm running for.
Hmm.
And nothing at all to do with my function in my capacity to be the best human that I can be in an elected seat.
Right.
With these people, they don't care about my stance on the issues. They don't care if I have a better plan on an issue that's affecting humans than others.
I think a lot of people seems to go based on your
Personal.
mistakes, personal mistakes that you've done in life that have,
And that has
and the
nothing
way I see
to
it and the
do
way I've
with
seen it, I
anything.
think a lot of these mistakes you've done in life, which I've done a lot of mistakes myself too, they become scars in lives, and they becomes a living testimony in a person's life. Like my addiction became a living testimony, and now I could share it with anybody without being embarrassed, without having a shame of what I've done in my past, because I could save a life now if a person's going through an addiction just by sharing my story. At what point would how open would you be sharing your story, as with your open wounds, and they've closed and now they became scars, and you could make an impact in the community?
Well, the thing is, I've already done that. I've already admitted that I've gotten to my lowest of my lows.
I remember
I've
I
already
remember you
admitted
did.
that I've been broken. I've already admitted everything that I need to admit. But the thing is that nobody out there watching me is God. And ultimately, it's between me and God. And if I put myself out there for an elected seat, I'm trying to tell you that no matter how you feel of me personally, I am still the best one running for this seat. No
Hmm.
matter what, I can do the best for you because I care more than anybody about human beings that is running for any seat that I will ever be running for. And whoever is challenging me will never ever have proven a life lived in which they have cared through elections, through downfalls, through their own challenges. They still cared about the issues that affected other people that had nothing to do with them. And
Correct.
not everybody has the ability to do that. A lot of politicians rise and fall depending on their own personal battles. And if anything, I've been able to transform that energy and make it so that that's the thing that keeps me going. As
Right.
long as I'm trying to survive my own battles, what makes me feel better about being a human in this world that's really difficult to live is to be able to just be the best human I can be for the majority of humanity. And some people can't understand that because people, when they go through something, it's all about their own self-preservation.
Hmm.
And they don't understand how a human can care about their own self-preservation, but can also focus on caring about humanity as a whole.
Right. And I mean, sometimes people need to think outside the box because, certain people's failures have become, part of their lives and have helped elected officials as well. We've had people that have gotten DWIs in the past. We have people that have been arrested in the past, but they've been very successful when they become elected officials. And maybe, all these arrests and all this has happened to you has built you into a very strong woman, a woman that could be an example of a woman empowerment. And to a certain extent, I understand where you're coming from, but one thing I believe is learning how to accept criticism, even if it's negative. It's gonna come, regardless.
Oh no, that's the thing with me is that I wouldn't be running for an elected seat if I didn't know that I was the best mind in that region to be able to do the best job. So
Right.
if I'm the best mind for that region to be able to do the best job, and the criticism that I'm getting is not having anything to do, nothing to do with the way that I'm addressing the issues, and instead has to do with my personal life, hell no, I'm not going to take that criticism.
Well, let me.
Because
And people are
nothing
putting
to
here
do
about.
that has nothing to do with my ability to do a job in a seat that I'm trying to get. Nothing at all.
I do want to clarify something. People are saying the charges. Well, she has never been convicted of any of them. She has never been
Uh,
found
I
guilty
can
of
be,
any
I
of her
could be,
arrests.
I could be arrested a million times. And what about it? If you,
But you have never been convicted of any of your arrests, have you?
no, I've never been convicted. And what these people don't understand is this: the makers of our Constitution. If you really want to get down to it, because if you want to talk politics, we can talk politics. Even anybody that's there criticizing me right now, commenting whatever they want to comment, they won't have anything to say after I say this. And they're not going to like it because every time I call my shot and then I make my shot and I'm successful with my shot, they get bothered that I'm going to do it anyway. So
Hmm.
all these people that are talking about arrest don't understand that the makers of our Constitution understood what local and state people were going to do to federal level candidates, which is the very reason that they created the ability for a convicted felon, somebody that is even incarcerated,
To be able to
can
run.
run can run for US Rep, US Senate, and the president.
Correct.
And these
Except for local
people do
races.
not have exactly nothing state or below.
Hmm. You're right about
But
that.
are you kidding me that the most important seats in our United States government have been protected to such a degree by these minds that want to say, but arrest, but arrest, but arrest. And even then, you can even say, but conviction and conviction and conviction. Because if I've been convicted 20 times, guess what? If the people believe in me, I can still run. And that matters. But the thing is, they don't want to respect that part of the Constitution. They just want to respect the parts that aren't even part of the Constitution, but that will still cast doubt in the minds of other people because they have nothing else to throw at me but arrest, arrest, arrest. And ultimately, the only seats I care about are seats where a million arrests don't even matter.
Well, thank you, Vanessa, for calling into my live, and I appreciate it. And I wish you nothing but the best on what you're planning to do and on your journey and stuff like that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you,
Muchas
Vanessa.
gracias.
De nada. Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
So, guys, everybody had the opportunity to call in. Of course, I still have it open, the mic to call in if anybody wants to call in, and I respect everybody's opinion. Of course, people are not agreeing right now to what Vanessa states, and I respect it. I mean, everybody has their own opinion on what they believe and what they see, and of course, I ask you guys just to respect the caller itself, and that's it. And a lot of people right now are asking, or people are asking that Vanessa unblock the callers, unblock this, unblock that. Um, and if she wants to do it, great. I can't force her to do it. But I gave everybody the opportunity. And even to right now, if somebody wants to call in and voice their opinion, you are more than welcome to call in. I don't have an issue as long as we don't mention names from any other platforms, as long as you respect myself and respect whoever else you want to call. If your comment has something with people that cannot be, and of course, my moderators are removing comments because of certain reasons, guys. Remember, my hands are tied. I cannot do certain things, and I have to hold back. Um, but again, I saw I'm not monetizing. Put a comment. I respect what you put out there. It was a question. It was awkward, and haters just keep eating it up. Um, but we have been here live for about an hour, guys. I want to thank everybody that was here tonight. We had 268 people. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the support. Thank you for being here with me tonight. Again, I decided to do an open mic tonight, and I think I'm going to continue to give this an open mic to give everybody the opportunity to express themselves, uh, and hear you guys out. I mean, everybody needs to have a platform where you're not going to get blocked, where you're not going to get discouraged, where I'm going to allow you to come in here and I'm going to hear you out, and I'm going to and we could have a discussion. We could argue, but that doesn't mean we're going to bash each other or anything like that. I'm giving you the opportunity for anybody to come in here and speak and voice your opinion and your concerns. I think it's time to have a platform where we have somebody who's just going to allow you people to participate in it. And even if you don't agree with what I'm going to say, I'm going to respect your opinion because I'm going to accept the criticism. Because I know we have 263 people, but not all of them are my supporters. But if you called in right now and you don't like what you're hearing and you want to criticize me for what I've done wrong and you want to question me about it, I will answer your questions. So again, guys, tomorrow we will have an opportunity to have an open live, open mic again, and allow you guys to come in, guys, and voice whatever you want to talk about. I'm not going to turn you away. I'm not going to shut you up. I'm not going to block you. I'm just going to tell my moderators if you see anything that is questionable to remove it, guys. But other than that, you're more than welcome to call. If you want my personal cell phone number and you want to have a discussion with me on the side, as a silent viewer, my number is 956-474-4545. I answer calls all the time, answer texts. If you want to call me private and you want to have a discussion with me, that is fine. I will respect your private call. And that's the way I am. I am an open book about my personal life too. If you want to know more about my personal life, I will open up about my personal life, my addiction, whatever you want to know, what I went through in my personal life, how I grew up without a father, my mother is a single parent, whatever you want to know, I will clarify you about my personal life. I have nothing to hide, nothing to be ashamed of. I am proud of who I am. And at the end of the day, I want to thank everybody that was here tonight, and I want to thank everybody that participated. God bless each and every one of you. Tomorrow we will have another show about 8:30. And I love you guys. Thank you y hasta mañana. Y Dios me los bendiga a cada uno de ustedes. Love you guys.